everybody. It's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And, partner, sometimes it's good for a team to get the Thursday nighter right after a loss because you don't have very long to stew on what just happened. You have to turn right around, get ready, and go out and play again. Or, as one of the veterans told me, I actually like this because I keep my anger for this short amount of time and take it out on the other team.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. And an alley to run. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And this is Latimer, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Well, look now at our starting defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants.
Touchdown, baby. Keep it rolling.
Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Jones operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
54. Nice, sweetheart. Switch. Now.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Escaping the pressure right. This is Shepard on the catch. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
That's how you score.
Saquon Barkley. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Rosas now to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start.
Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Rosas to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Interesting stat line right now. And technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
7 yards there and a 1st down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. Myers' kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. In the 1 o'clock games, the one that catches the eye happens in Big D at AT&T Stadium, a tough test for the Cowboys as they'll do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Then in the 4 Eastern window, it'll be a later than usual start in Cincinnati where it'll be the Bengals taking on the LA Chargers. And then finally, a good one on Sunday night between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. In our game, we were treated to a strong first half from the former Blue Devil, Daniel Jones. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He lets it fly for Lockett. It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Giants set to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. But he breaks through another tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Another try for Penny. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Myers' kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Check it back.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. 50, plant. 54. Get your swerve on. Shit.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Ready?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage.
Here we go. Check three.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now Williams looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Wilson, he's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now Wilson.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll get this one to Cobb complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. That'll be caught by Cobb. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson is complete to the tight end Clay. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 21. Wilson.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. They go play action now. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball.
You're handing
out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this. Though you say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Giants, they're into the win column for the third time.